host, Rotepile Mbelase, and today we're being joined by Nkone Chaka, a 26-year-old fine artist, illustrator, and writer based in Lesotho and South Africa. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm surviving.
You're
How are
surviving?
you? How
We're
are
all
you?
surviving. I'm good. I'm pretty nervous. We haven't done this in a while. Anyway, let's get right into it, right? So, what brought you upon the decision to delve into the arts?
I think desperation, to be honest. I didn't really see myself doing anything else. I'm a relatively sensitive person, so things like law or any other intense field of study was not going to gel well with my mental health. And so this was honestly my only option. Yeah.
I actually relate to that. I relate to that a lot. I actually wanted to go do arts before. My mom wanted me to do law, but it was a different time. It was bad.
My sincere apologies.
To continue, what role do you believe artists have in society?
I think for me personally, art is storytelling, and history doesn't survive without stories.
It really doesn't.
So it feels a little bit like I'm propping up the work of artists, but that's what I believe. So yeah, it's as historians, I think.
So we can be related to historians. Well,
I think so. Yeah, I think artists are historians, and a very important part of documenting history. So that's my job.
And it shows the different changes of like art. Keep it going. So how has your practice changed? Like, have you grown into any other art forms?
I started thinking that I was going to be a painter, which changed because I did make the controversial decision to go to art school. And then I ended up discovering mixed media and sculpture in art school. Ooh. So that's mostly what I do as a fine artist.
Wait, what schools did you go to?
I went to Michaelis School of Fine Art in Cape Town.
Oh. How was that experience?
Depressing.
Why?
I think art school is not what you expect it to be, in that it's a lot more challenging. And if you aren't rich, art school is very difficult. So for any people out there planning to go to art school, try to get a bursary or a scholarship, or be rich.
Be rich. Okay, so what work would you say you most enjoy doing?
I think out of all the things, probably writing. I think that's probably my favorite thing. That was my dream before I got into visual arts. I wanted to be an author. So I think writing is probably the most fulfilling thing that I do right now.
What is your process when creating new forms of art?
It usually starts with a source of inspiration. So it could be an article, a book, a body of music, and then ideas will sort of come from there. I have trouble kind of focusing and working on a single thing at a time.
Multitasking, it's what women do. You'll get it.
But it usually starts from an external source.
Okay. What is your most notable research process?
The most notable research process, I think reading.
Reading.
Yeah.
What did you read? Let's say one piece of work.
The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy has sort of shaped the way that I see the world. It's a bit of a depressing book, but
Give us a summary. I want to know more about
it's about a pair of twins who are separated after a very tragic accident, and they sort of have to live life yearning and missing each other, yearning for each other and missing each other. And so I think a lot of my work is about feeling incomplete, like as a human.
Okay.
And searching for things that can make me and other people feel whole.
Okay.
And feel worthy of the human experience.
That's a very true perspective. Wow.
Yeah.
Never thought of it that way.
So that book has shaped the way that I see the world.
Okay. What themes have you pursued?
A lot of them recently have to do with queerness and gender queerness and gender fluidity. I'm non-binary, and so kind of presenting as a woman, having women identifying features has been rough.
That has been rough. In what way?
It's been like, obviously, I think it's different in Lesotho and compared to other areas. While there is a queer community at home, I find it difficult to find my people, let's say.
Okay.
For me, it has been, at least. And so exploring gender fluidity in a place that is, I would say, relatively homophobic and queerphobic is difficult. You fear for your safety,
I understand.
and you struggle to find community.
I
So
see. Now, speaking of being lonely, I hear that artists are lonely people. Now, have you experienced the same thing? And if so, how do you counteract it?
yeah, definitely. I don't know if that's has to do with being an artist or just like myself as a person.
Okay. Okay.
I find socializing very difficult. I'm getting better, like slowly.
You go, girl.
I'm getting better, but I think finding spaces online has been very helpful.
Chat
Artist
rooms and
spaces,
such?
like artist spaces online, has been helpful. It's not giving what it's supposed to give, but it's a start.
It's a start.
And things like this are nice as well.
Have you made any friends?
I have, but like I haven't met any of them.
What are like platforms that
So-
artists use?
A lot of artists use Twitter as a place. It's toxic.
Fan of Black Twitter?
So I don't interact on Twitter like as a person or as an artist. It's not a place where I have a lot to say, just because it is such a toxic cesspool. But I do enjoy but I do enjoy like seeing what other artists are up to, because that's how a lot of people advertise themselves.
Of course,
So it's
of
great
course.
to see like what other people are doing, because it can be very depressing to be locked in your own sort of field, and it can be isolating. It can stunt your growth. So it's nice to find inspiration from the things other people are doing.
Okay, all right. Now that we're talking about inspiration, what has been your most notable achievement?
I think in terms of writing, probably I had some flash fiction pieces published in a flash fiction magazine called Reflex.
Go Reflex, shout out.
That was pretty exciting. And then a few years ago, maybe one or two, I was in a group exhibition curated by an artist from Botswana called Leo.
Shout out to Leo.
And they invited me to be a part of that show.
What was it called?
It was called Kinamile, and it was at Eclectica, Contemporary Art Gallery in Cape Town.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, what is your goal collaboration in life?
I don't know if I have a goal collaboration as much as I have like an ideal collaboration situation.
What is it?
Which is, I would like to someday in the future own an artist commune.
Okay.
Where? Either in Lesotho or South Africa, I'm not sure, wherever like property is available, because obviously that's a challenge. It's expensive. But to get a place to offer artists residencies where they can come and sort of not worry about funding too much, and make whatever they want to make, and display whatever they want to display. That's probably my dream, is to host other people and allow them to do the things that they want to do.
What's your view on Lesotho artists and their work?
That's such a difficult question.
Like, what have you seen? Yeah,
I think problem like Lesotho is that we don't have support.
Financial. And
We don't have
other
financial
rights
support.
and resources.
And so it can be challenging for the artists that are out there trying to do things. And even if you do have financial support, it can be difficult finding a market. But from what I've seen, a lot of tattoo artists are doing very well, which is nice.
It's a booming business right now.
Which is nice. It was a bit surprising, but I think that's That's great.
That's great. That's great. Now, with your work with the magazine and Eclectica, what has been your most memorable response to your work?
Um, I think I was shocked to have a positive response to my writing, even though the pieces that are published are very short.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting people to have emotional responses at all to such short pieces of fiction.
So you
So I
touched a
think
lot of people's hearts.
I wouldn't say a lot. I would
Just
say
a handful.
a
Okay,
respectable number.
Okay. 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 We'll be right back. We'll be right back with the show, and we have more games prepared from Nkone. Thank you. Welcome back to the show. We're still with Nkone. We're about to play a game called Blitz Answers, just to get to know her more. So we're gonna start. Are you comfortable? Are you ready? Are you sure? You got this. You got this. Okay. Now these are very silly questions. Nothing to be taken seriously except for the end. All right. So, what food or drink or song inspires you?
Right now, it's Space 8 by Nala Sinefro.
That's a song.
Yeah, it's a song.
Wonderful, wonderful. Space 8 by Nala
Sinefro.
Sinefro. Okay. What makes you angry?
Lots of things being broke. It's
Are you
definitely
late?
capitalism.
Name something you love and why.
Books. I feel like for obvious reasons. Come on.
She's a writer. You didn't know that. Something you don't love and why.
All the phobias, man. The transphobia, the homophobia, the ableism. Those are things that get me.
Of course. Okay. What wouldn't you live without?
I do love food. I'm a tourist, and we're like renowned for
Food is
for
everything.
for food, for snacking. That's my vice.
I say that passionately. Food is good. Thank you. Okay. What is the scariest experience you've been through?
Nothing that I can say in public, but let me just say men. Yeah. Let me just leave it like that. Men.
Skipping right past. What superpower would you like to have and why?
I think if I had the power to abolish capitalism and find a system that works, that would be my superpower.
You see, a person with a plan. What do you dislike about your work?
About my work is that sometimes, in the beginning especially, it can lack focus. So let me say, it takes a while for me to find a thing to latch onto and follow that through to
The longevity
completion.
of the process.
Yeah.
I see.
Probably that.
What is the best advice you've been given?
To do whatever I want, and that nobody's watching me. So
that's good advice.
I should have the freedom to just do it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, what advice would you give to artists in Lesotho?
In Lesotho specifically, I would say don't study art. Find a way to work it into your life outside trying to survive, because I think it's unfair to project the idea that you'll be fine monetarily. You won't. So find a job.
Okay. Backup plan.
Yeah.
That will be.
Yep.
Okay.
Have a
funding to your dream.
Have a backup plan for your backup plan.
I see. It's wonderful. Okay, so where can we find you on socials?
So I work under different names. You can find me at Nkone Chaka on Instagram and all other platforms. You can also find me as Rona at Mona Keha Rona on Instagram, and as Puleng at Prince by Puleng.
Prince by Play. All right. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank
it
you
was
so
really
much
nice
for
having
having
you
me.
here. Now we've come to the end of our show. Be tuned in for next week. We'll have Nobantu here, and we'll see you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.